As most of you know, we've had very few African Americans in auto racing, but we've had a few. There was Wendell Scott that ran NASCAR back in the 60s and early 70s. And open wheel racing, there was one. A couple of weeks ago, I had the privilege of sitting down and talking to Joie Ray, race car driver.
It's something special about race drivers and mechanics and so forth and so on. Once you break the ice, what I mean by that, get to know them and hang around, well, hey, you just did this part of the game.
Ray had all the tools necessary to become a competitive race car driver. The one thing he was lacking was money. But by the luck of the draw, the money fell in his lap.
In Kentucky at that time, they didn't have the lottery, but they had the illegal numbers. So I used to play the numbers. I was sitting there reading the racing paper. I think it was the Bergen Herald at that time, instead of Speedsport News. And they didn't have too much of a classified section, but there was an ad for a race car for sale for $450. In comes the number writer, said, "You gonna play your number today?" I said, "Yeah, give me $450 for $1. And I said to myself, $450 comes out, I'm gonna buy this car because you got $500 for one. And thought no more about it. That afternoon, here comes the number writer around laughing, put $500 right there. I said, "Oh, brother, I can't believe this." So I called the guy in Macon, Georgia, and we arranged to meet in Franklin, Tennessee, and I bought the car.
Ray ran his first race on a dirt track in Mitchell, Indiana in 1947. Despite the smoke, dust, flying rock, and noise, Ray knew this was for him, and his career was on its way.
The next Sunday, we go to Franklin, Indiana. So Wild Bill Cantrell had me on the pole in the second heat, my second race now. The announcer up in the grandstand, he said, "What the hell is that guy doing out here?" So he said a little bit more. I won't say exactly what he said.
What did he say?
He said, "What is that nigga doing?" That's exactly what he said.
On the PA?
On the PA. So, hey, I'm feeling, I said, well, maybe I got something that can't handle. Wild Bill Cantrell, I never will forget it, Chick Smith, and one of the other fellows got out. We just lined up to race. They got out of their cars and they just did like that to me. They went up in the announcer's booth, and I looked up there. The announcer put his hand over the mic, and they talked a few minutes. Chick and them came back down and did like that to me. So here's this announcer. "Ladies and gentlemen, in the red number 7 is Joie Ray, the world's only color race driver."
Though the incidents were too many to count, the racism not only came from the grandstands, but it came from some of the sport's biggest names.
I can only call one incident with a driver, and I won't call his name, but a certain Indy driver went up and down the pits. He never said a word to me, but he would point, and I could overhear, hey, we don't want this guy running with us. So Benny, I learned something years ago. If you got any kind of problem, go to the top. So I go to Spider Webb, Johnny Shepard. Hey, he's 1 and 2 in points. And I said, "Hey, Spider," I said, "this so-and-so doesn't want me to run." Spider, Spider was a pretty rough character at that time. Spider said, "Look, you passed your test. Your blood is red, my blood is red. You're a race driver, I'm a race driver. To hell with so-and-so." So, now we start in the third heat. This guy and I started 5th and 6th. I said a little prayer. I said, if I don't beat nobody else, I'm sure in the hell gonna beat him. And I did.
During a time when Ray had to deal with more than just racing, he went on to be one of the most successful black sprint car drivers ever. Despite some of the problems he dealt with along the way, Joie Ray has no regrets about his decision to become a race car driver.
It has been one of the best things that ever happened to me in life. I only won 2 or 3 features, but for the people that I met, the traveling that I've done, the experiences, and the appreciation of life. I mean, when you're in an occupation like car racing, it makes you just appreciate the good fortune of you having the use of your arms. And you just appreciate life, period.